بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله، صلى الله عليك وعلى ابن عمك أمير المؤمنين وعلى آلك المظلومين. يا ليتنا كنا معكم فنفوز فوزا عظيما. شهر الصيام به الإسلام قد فجع، وفي رزيته قلب الهدى صدع. شهر الصيام بكت عين السماء دما، وفيه وجبريل ما بين السماء نعى. اليوم في سيف أشقى العالمين هوى شخص الوصي، وفي محرابه صرعا. اليوم في قتله الهادي وفاطمة ماتا، وعليان زار سورها انصدعا. اليوم فلتسكب الأيتام عبرتها، ولتترك الصبر لكن تصحب الجزع. هذا ابن ملجم قد أردى أبا حسن، فهل ترى اليوم من أردى ومن صرعا. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. قال تعالى في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أفمن يهدي إلى الحق أحق أن يتبع أمن لا يهدي إلا أن يهدى. ما لكم كيف تحكمون. طيبوا أفواهكم وعطروا مجالسكم بالصلاة على محمد وآل محمد. As all of brothers and sisters know tonight is the first night of destiny, and at the same time it is the anniversary of the assassination of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Therefore, I extend my condolences to all Muslim nation and to the true followers of this great Imam. The Holy Quran in this ayah that I recited at the beginning raises a very important issue, a logical principle, something that we practically practice in our daily life. However, sometimes we do it subconsciously. And Quran is full of values, in abundance and treasures of values and principles and logical principles. But this one is very important. In this, the Quran alludes to this fact. He emphasizes on the fact of a speciality and expertise. give value to expertise and knowledge and knowledgeable people. Here it says that in your daily activities, in daily necessities, we have many needs and we require many necessities. Now we need to fulfill those. If we have problems, we need to solve them. Here the Quran is showing us a direction, telling us if you have a problem, always go after the expertise. If you encounter a disease, an illness, go after the expertise, the specialized one, and that person have to be a doctor. If I have pain in my stomach, I don't go to the mechanic and tell him I am sick. Or if I have a problem in legal system, I don't go to the dentist and tell him I have a problem with my taxes, for example. There is always a specialty. There is an expertise. The value of expertise. And that's what we see today in the free world. In the free societies, expertise play a major role in shaping up opinion and running the business of people's daily lives. What is an expertise? It means that I, who have spent so much time of my time studying and preparing for that specific subject, therefore I claim to be knowing about that subject more than anyone else. Therefore people will come to me and ask for my advice. Let's say, God forbid, you have an operation, you want to do a surgery. Would you go to a student who's in the school of medicine, or you find the best surgeon to ask him to do the surgery for you, the operation for you? Obviously, the logics ask you and commands you to go after the best, to ensure the success in the operation. And same can go for any other topic. So the specialty and expertise is an integral component in any society. And based on that, you see that societies are formed. Because I have certain expertise, and at the same time, I have necessities and needs. And you have certain expertise, and you have needs. Therefore, you fulfill my needs by giving me your expertise, and I fulfill your need by giving you my expertise. Whenever I get sick, or my children get sick, I send them to the doctor. Whenever I want to build a home, I ask the engineer and the architect to build me a home. Whenever I have a legal problem, I go to the lawyer and attorney to solve my problem. Whenever they want to send their children for education, they send them to me as a teacher to teach them. So in this way, the society becomes coherent. And here what Quran says in the ayah, it says, نَحْنُ قَسَمْنَا بَيْنَهُمْ مَعِيشَتَهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا. We have given them their proportions, their lives. We made their equalities different. Some with a higher equality, some with a different equality. Each one have a different expertise and different strength. Someone has strength in financial area. The other one has strength in physical area. The third one in mental area, and so forth. So they all get together in order to improve the society. نحن قسمنا بينهم معيشتهم في الحياة الدنيا ورفعنا بعضهم فوق بعض درجات. We categorize them in different levels. ليتخذ بعضهم بعضا سخريا. So each group will utilize the other group. And the other group, vice versa, utilizes the first group. And this is how a rational society, a healthy society can run its affairs based on a specialty. Let's say you want your doors to be repaired. Where do you go? Don't you go to the carpenter? Or you find somebody who works in the bank and you tell him, fix me this. Obviously, the expertise makes sense, and here Quran directs us for this logical point. Now comes the government. Government is also a necessity. We have to govern ourselves. How do we govern ourselves? Some say, leave it as an anarchy. There is no need for someone to govern us. Human beings have reached a level of understanding and maturity that they can run their affairs by themselves. But is that a wise thing? Just look what happened after the collapse of regime in Iraq. For how many days there was a chaotic scene, even up to now. Why? Because all of a sudden the government has collapsed. There was a void in policemen, in government, and people rushed to loot and do whatever you say. Not only in Iraq, back in 1992, in California, in Los Angeles, some of you remember, we had a riot in Los Angeles due to certain legal problem. Once the police and government disappeared for a while, we ended up having 1,000 fires, and that's in Los Angeles, one of the most advanced cities on the world. Why? Because there was anarchy. So anarchy cannot help. We have to have someone to govern us. And here comes the whole argument. Who would lead? Who would govern? Anyone would govern, or there is a specialty? And here when I say who would lead, I am talking specifically about the Muslim Ummah, the Muslim nation. We know that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alih, the greater prophet, was the guidance and was the leader of the Ummah. He would run the affair of the Ummah. But what happens after him? There's the important question. While he was there, the Quran directs him to guide and lead the nations. Ya ayyuhan nabi, inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhira wa da'iyan ila Allah bi'idhnihi wa sirajan munira. You are the guidance, you are the lighting torch that you show the path of God towards your nations. Your nations are following you. In the other ayah, in the other verse, says, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهِ فَاتَّبِعُونِي يُحْبِبْكُمُ اللَّهِ. If you claim that you love God, then follow me. The prophet is telling his nation, follow me, so God would love you. So here we have a guidance. But what happens afterward? And here's the logical question come. You have somebody who's guided and someone who's less guided. And that's what the verse that I recited at the beginning. What does the verse say? It says, if he who is guided to the truth, more worthy to be followed, since that question, the ayah asks, which one is more worthy to be followed? The one who's guided or the one who's less guided? Let's say tomorrow you go to a tour, you go to a scene, to an attractive place, you want to see that place. You choose a tour guide. Does it make sense that you choose a tour guide that you know about that place more than that tour guide? Otherwise, why would you enroll in the tour guide, in the tour? You can see it by yourself. Anyone who enrolls in any tour guide, it means that I don't have much knowledge as much as the tour guide has. And the tour guide is more guided and knows more about that particular place than I am. Therefore, I have to follow him. You take a road, but you don't know the road. Do you take a road with somebody who's guided, who knows the road very well? Or you take the road with somebody who's less guided, who can take you this way or that way? Which one? The logic tells you need to take the most guided one. So coming back again to the subject, after the demise of the Prophet, whom should we take? Who would represent the